In this lesson titled Working with Worksheets, we're in Workbook Lesson 09, Multiple Worksheets, and we're currently on the Asia tab. Quite often in Excel, you need to work with multiple worksheets. In fact, the more worksheets you have, the more useful that workbook can be. So we're going to look now about moving, copying, inserting, coloring, and a lot of other features that you can do to worksheets. Let's take a look first at these worksheets we have down here. We have Asia, Africa, EU, USA, and then we have one for world totals. You can see each one of these worksheets, as I click on it, is very similar to the other worksheet. They just have some different numbers and a different title. If we wanted to add an additional worksheet, we can just simply hit the New Worksheet button. It's right down here at the very bottom. It looks like a little plus with a circle around it. And we get sheet number 4. Sometimes it'll say sheet 1 or 2 or 3. It just depends how many sheets you've created in the past. And it'll create a new blank worksheet with a unique number. Did you notice where the worksheet was created? It was just to the right of Asia because Asia was currently selected when we added it. If I come over here to USA and I click New Sheet, then I get it just to the right of New Sheet. To delete a worksheet is just as easy. You right click on it and choose Delete. How about this worksheet over here? Maybe we don't want it here. Maybe we want it on the very end over here. So to do that, we just simply click on it, and when we do, we get a little icon that's an arrow and it shows a sheet, like a sheet of paper. And as we move it across, a little black arrow just beneath here jumps between each worksheet, showing us where that's going to go if we release. And if I release here, we've put it there. And so now let's take a look at renaming it. We right click on it and we just choose Rename. And then I can just simply type something like Totals and click away, and we have a new name. You can also double click and it will highlight the text and it's ready for you just to type over it. I'm going to click away to accept that. And of course we want to add a color, so we're going to right click and tab color is available, and we can choose all of these standard colors as well as no color and more color. Anytime a worksheet is selected, it'll be slightly faded, and this can be a little confusing because you think that the new color wasn't applied, but if you click away to another tab, you can see the full color there, and you can see that World Totals now down here at the bottom is somewhat faded. The color is somewhat faded because it's selected. Let's go back here again. If we had a sheet that we wanted to copy instead of move, all we have to do is hold down the Control key and click and drag, and we get a sheet with a tiny little plus. And again, we get a little arrow showing us where we're going to move it. So I drop it right here, and it gives me the same color, the same sheet. All the data in the sheet will be the same, and it will say Totals 2. And you'll probably need to rename it. You can click on that, and we'll give it a new name. AST for Australia. I'll click away. Let's change its color. Right click, tab color, and choose this color orange here. We've done a really good job of copying, coloring, renaming. Now let's look at some other features. I'm going to go ahead and delete these. I want to delete them both, so I'm going to click here and I'm going to Control click over here. So when I use Control click, I can do multiple sheets by holding down the Control key. And with that done, I can right click and choose Delete. And everything selected was deleted, so I got rid of both of those. We can also group our sheets together to do more than just delete them. We can group them to actually add data. Let's say we decided that in all of our tabs, here's Asia, in all of our tabs we meant to say medical products right up here. We wanted that on all of them. Well, I don't have to go to each individual sheet. I can click here, and now I can use Control click to click the others, or I can use Shift click and just go to the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these are all selected, and you can see they all have faded colors, meaning they're selected. With them all selected, I'm going to go to the top here and say medical supplies. And I'm just going to hit enter. to make sure I've accepted that. And now I'm going to click a tab that we haven't selected in order to unselect the group. And I'm going to go back to Asia, and I see medical supplies. Let's go to Africa, and there it is, medical supplies, and EU, and USA. So great feature when you want to make a change on every single sheet. Just remember that it'll put it in the same place. In this case, looking over here at our name box, we can see it was C2. And so it put medical supplies in C2 on all of those. Let's take a look now at just one more option in working with grouped worksheets. Let's regroup our 3 worksheets down at the bottom. I'm going to click, and then I'm going to shift click here on USA so I get all 4 of these. And now we're going to try deleting something. So why don't we come over here to large syringe, right? I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose delete. And I deleted the entire row, so it just completely skips it without leaving any blanks. And now let's just see what happened on our other worksheets. I'm going to ungroup this time by selecting any one of these with a right click and choose ungroup sheets. We'll go to Asia, of course. Our first one here, large is gone, large syringe is gone, EU, USA. So you can actually delete information. Just have to be careful. It did it in the same place on every sheet, and it deleted row 5.